Welcome, everyone. Today's topic is how to trade the news in the stock market. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to be breaking down my personal way of trading the news in the stock market. I've had a lot of success in the past with news-driven trades, especially when it comes to day trading. And I want to share it with you guys. All right. So thanks for joining me here. I see that we have 6 people in the chat. Welcome. And thank you very much for being here. Okay. So what we're going to do here is I have a chart for SPY right here, and we're going to talk about the how we can take advantage of when we get news and what are we likely to expect. All right. Okay. So let me get rid of the fibs from yesterday and let's look at the action today. Okay. So obviously, this is when the news came in. We could see that we pretty much wiped out the full range of the day with one candle, right? So anytime you see candles like this, it's usually something to do with news, okay? So the question is, how do we trade that, all right? So if you guys have any specific ways you trade news, please feel free to comment in the chat and we can look at it. But what I want to show you is, today is my style. So specifically, what I do on news events is I try to identify the impulsive leg, okay? So we could clearly see here, right? We could clearly see here that we had this big push down, okay? So we had this big push down. I'm gonna put this in black. And then we started to retrace, okay? And as you guys know, from those of you who have my book and from those of you who follow my Fibonacci style of trading, anytime we have an impulsive leg, we can retrace to the Fibonacci levels, okay? Asif says, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Asif? Welcome. So let us take the Fibonacci from the high to the low, like this, okay? And actually, we need to adjust the Fibonacci. So let me zoom in for us. We need to actually put the high at the high of the bar that triggered the news. So this is the bar that triggered the news, okay? And then we can see right here, friends, as we come in, sorry, I'm just trying to update. There we go. So as we have this impulsive leg down, okay, we pull back and we pull back right to the 50. So right in this zone and right at the 50, look what we have, inside bar. Beautiful. So what I'm doing when I'm trading the news is I'm looking for the Fibonacci, especially the 50% and the 618. I'm looking for signs of rejection at these levels, and I'm using those rejection as confirmation to take trades. So what did we have here? So we had inside bar right here. So we could easily short this inside bar, right? We could short right here, put a stop above. Okay, we get filled on the next candle. That's a beautiful breakdown there. That's 4.5 times your money. Okay, so you put in $1,000 risk right there. That's 4,500 bucks. Beautiful. Okay. The other thing we could have done is if you didn't want to short the inside bar, you could wait for this red bar. So this was a nice confirmation bar. And then you see these wicks here, guys. 1, 2, 3. These are all buying wicks, right? These are buying wicks. These are buyers. So all you got to do is you can put a short stop limit right at one of these wicks, because you know if we break this wick, we're gonna flush down. Okay. All right. So does that make sense, guys? So basically, to summarize, what we're doing when we're trading news is we're looking for that first impulsive leg. We're drawing the Fibonacci, and we're looking for the reactions at the major Fibonacci's, which is the 50, 618. And then we're taking either candlestick pattern trades in the direction of the news, or what we're going to do is we're going to take limit orders, which is a concept I talked about in my book. Okay. And then, as you guys know, the market. So before we get to the next part, I want to draw something that's very important. Okay. So for those of you who follow technical analysis, most of you guys know that the previous support, okay, will likely become resistance. Okay. So the previous support will likely become resistance, and we can clearly see that here. Okay. So we had a support at 10 o'clock. This was the low of the day before the news broke. And then I want to show you guys, okay, when we break through that level, we come back and we retest that level. Okay. So you see how we come back into this zone right here? So this zone, this is a zone. From this wick all the way up to the body is a zone. So we retest. So let me draw that for you guys. From the wick all the way up to the body, this is a zone. Okay, so let me just get rid of the Fibonacci for 1 second. And we can clearly see, guys, this is what we call break and retest. Okay, so we break the support, we retest the support, and guess what? Old support becomes new resistance. Okay, so write that down if you guys are not familiar with this concept. It is a very popular technical analysis strategy. So old support becomes resistance, and old resistance becomes support once we break and confirm the direction. Okay, so back to the fib. All right. So you guys know I have my full free strategy on YouTube about my reversal trading, right? So what do we have here? So the market, as usual, guys, it works in harmony, it works in synchronicity, and it works in almost like art. And what we can see here is we pull to the 50 and we trade to the 50 extension. And this is where the market reverse, okay? So we pull to the 50 and we trade to the 50 extension. So this is what I called symmetry. Okay, so from here, this is an awesome area to look for a reversal. Why? Because we know the algorithms that are taking this 50 short are going to cover at this 50 extension because they're programmed, they're robots. Okay, so how can you take this? So you can easily just come in here, load up on the 50, right? Or you can take that hammer. You see that beautiful hammer? Nice, beautiful hammer right there with a nice long wick. You could just take that hammer bar right there. That's easily double your money. Okay. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is free Discord room. Is the link still valid? Yes. I've been having issues with the link, but I think I fixed it. So let me know if it works. And definitely check us out there, okay? So the next thing is the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is called the sequenced leg, okay? So this is the last concept in my book. It's called the sequencing. So one fib to another fib, and I like to call that a sequence, okay? So we had the first leg trade to the 50 and then we trade to extension. Okay, so what's next? So what's next is we can draw the sequence, which is taking this 50. This is the new anchor. This is the new pivot. Okay, guys? And then here's the new low. And then look at this. Okay, look at this. Look how beautiful this is. It's like art, right? Look at that. So 618 rejection perfectly. Absolutely beautifully, stunningly, perfectly. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 wick rejection. Short right here. Boom. Triple your money. Done. All right. So that's what we call the sequence leg. So the news is not that difficult to trade if you understand what you're doing. Okay. If you understand what you're doing, the news is not scary. It's not. You just need to have a plan and make sure that the other part of it is when the market expands. You see how the market expands, right? You see like this candle is basically all of the candles up until 1 o'clock, right? So when this candle is this big, we need to adjust our size. And this is the other concept of position sizing, okay? Which I have another YouTube video for. So when the market decides to open up on news, and all of a sudden, instead of moving 3 or 4 points, we're moving 5 or 10 points at a time, you need to reduce your size. You can't keep your size the same because if you're wrong, you will blow up your account. Okay. So let's say you're doing 5 contracts and then all of a sudden the market doubles in its volatility. You need to come in with 2 or 3 contracts. That way you keep your risk fixed. All right. So now let's look at the 15-minute insight bars because there was a few nice ones today. Look at this. So you guys know that I like trading 15-minute insight bars. So we had, first of all, we had this one, which was didn't really do anything. It didn't really work. But right after that, we had this beautiful double hammer insight bar 15-minute pattern. Right there, just taking this beauty up was easily double your money before the sell-off. So that's why it's important, guys, to also use trailing stop losses and take targets like I always say, right? Because you never know when this can happen. Okay. All right. So that was 10 minutes only. And I think I really went in detail about trading the news. And let's just recap. So we want to identify the impulsive leg first with the news. Then we want to draw the fibs to see where the pullbacks can be. And then from there, we want to look at the extensions and we want to look at the sequence leg. All right, so keep it very, very simple. And trading doesn't need to be hard. It's as hard as you want it to be. Okay. All right, so we had a chart request from my friend Chris W. Draftkings. So let's take a look at what's going on with Draftkings. And if you guys have any chart requests, feel free to throw it in there, and I will be happy to go over them. Okay, so let's look at what's going on with DraftKings. Okay, so I had a trade set up to go in DraftKings if it broke through 64.40. It did not. Instead, it went down. So I'm happy that I didn't jump the gun and I waited to get filled and I didn't get filled. So I'm protected from this downside. So very, very happy about that. That being said, there's a lot of fib actions happening here. And let me see. So let's draw a bunch of fib legs. So we have this first one, low to high here. We had the 50%. We had the 50% retracement, which traded to the 786 extension. So what I'm going to be using here is I'm going to be using this anchor here, and we're going to be pulling it up here now. So we're sitting in a very important place. You can see here, we already tried to bounce from the 50, but that kind of went, that didn't work. We're at the 618 now, which is also a sweet spot. So this candle is very important. So this will be a great entry for a fib play. You can just basically get in on the breakout of this candle if it does break above. Okay. All right. So thank you, Chris. And let's see what we have in the chat. We have Matthew. Welcome back. If time, can we look at Nova? Okay, let's look at Nova. Okay, let's see what's going on with Nova. So Nova's sitting on a fib, I could tell you that. Let's take this low to the high. Right? Look at that. Oh my God. I love it. Okay. Let me just try to get the right high. Okay, look at this. 786. Tap and go. Beautiful, right? So you see the algorithms are here. They purchased, they bought a lot. And to be honest, the algorithms are they could be in and out, right? Like they could buy here and sell right here and make $1 million and be done. They could definitely do that because they have the ability to push that much, right? But definitely this is a base that Nova has created. And this level needs to hold around 31, 35. This needs to hold for the bulls to continue to push higher. If not, we can get kind of nasty and come back down to the 24 area, 2360. All right. So Matthew says, you'll never get rid of me, Rich. I see it. I see it. Beautiful. That's what I love to hear. Chris says, I bought with the news when New York announced approval of online sports gambling, been tanking since. Yeah, Chris, honestly speaking, the news, it's always a gamble. Fed days are always a gamble. Those type of things are always a gamble. So you have to be careful with how much money you put into things like that because you never know. But when we use strategies, right? Like if we use fibs, if we use inside bars, we have a better edge. So that's why whenever it is news, I'm not scared per se to trade, but I must have a setup. Okay. And as you guys know, my setups are derived from Fibonacci and inside bars, pretty much. I also do opening range breakouts, but pretty much everything I do is either inside bar or fib. All right. Disney is straggling and I'm getting frustrated. I need your feedback. My price target is 199. Honestly, Disney has been killing me for a while too. So don't, we've all been in that boat. I've been, I've been I've taken maybe 4 trades on Disney and I've only won one, to be honest. Disney, it has been a very trappy and wicky. Like you can see like a lot of wicks, a lot of traps. So I'm bullish on Disney overall in the long term, but it has not been a good instrument to trade recently. So I might even take it off my trading list right now, to be honest. I might. It's been frustrating me. And everyone in my trading room, we know that. We make money on everything and anything, but when it comes to Disney, for some reason, we can't. So I might just blacklist it for a little bit until it gets better. You know, if we look at this chart, right, you really want to be in Disney back here, right? When we have these type of explosion type of moves. And right now we're in a consolidation phase, and that's what makes it difficult. Okay. So those are my thoughts on Disney. I have more charts of time. HASI. So wait, let me show Asif here. So this was Asif's question. So to the 199 target, let's look at that again. So 199 is up there. I think it could work if we can break through 190 by next week. I think we can get there. But right now, it just looks like a bunch of traps, to be honest. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Has Z. So let's see what this is. This looks exactly the same as the last chart you sent me, so I'm guessing they might be in the same industry, the same sector. So yeah, so pretty much the same setup. This one came very close to the 786, so pretty much looking for the same type of move, right? This area here, this base that's been built needs to hold because it's been a lot of buyers in here. And if this base doesn't hold, things can get pretty wild because there'll be a lot of stop losses being triggered. But as long as we hold this base and we start to trim the corner, that's very, very bullish. So Matthew says he has eyes on clean energy. Exactly. And you see, guys, like most of the sectors, they move very similar, like the instruments within the sector, right? So you have to keep your eyes on, okay, out of, let's say there's 3 or 4 instruments in the sector, which ones are using the fibs better? Which ones are using the inside bars better? Which ones are closer to all-time highs? That's how you find relative strength in the market. All right. So friends, any questions, anything else that I can help you with today? I really hope the strategy on the news helped you guys, because for a long time I lost a lot of money trading the news because like I would trade based on the news itself. So like, okay, you know, if it's good news, I'm just gonna buy, you know, or if it's bad news, I'm just gonna sell. But that in itself doesn't mean you're gonna make money, because let's say it is bad news and you sell, but you sell at the bottom and then the market reverses, then you're in trouble, right? So, you know, you need a strategy in anything you do. The market is honestly, the market right now, friends, is very Fibonacci based. It's very systematic in that sense. So have a strategy, apply it, and don't worry about, like, for example, this news that hit today, there's nothing that anybody could have done, right? Unless you're, you know, top 1% and you know people, you have no idea that's coming. So all you can do is just adapt. Okay, so be willing to adapt. That's one of the most important things in trading. Be willing to adapt. Baba, I'm long 350, but lately struggling. Yeah, so this is the situation with Baba. Let's look at it together. So Baba is in a big short leg right now. So if we take this from the high and bring it down to the low, okay? So we can see that Baba had found major rejection between the 50 and the 618. So this is the zone, and we had a confirmation candles here. We had 2 long wicks, we had an inverted doji, and basically this short leg had a lot of volume. A lot of sellers were here. So that's why it's very, very tough for Baba to work. But I have this trend line that I drew a long time ago, and it's kind of still holding. So, you know, Baba is a very, very tough one because there's been news that affected Baba, right? So it's hard to say how this one's gonna go. But I can tell you that it's currently in the short leg. So if we start breaking down these levels over here, like 217, 215, you know, anything is possible for Baba. Hi, Rich. Do you analyze major sector ETFs, XLB, XLF, TAN, etc., daily to get an idea of potential sector performance in the near future? I don't analyze the ETFs. I analyze the individual stocks. because I trade the individual stocks and I look for the performers. I look for within each sector which ones are the top performers. And from there, I compare that to other sectors, and that's how I get an idea of where the money is flowing, right? So I don't look at ETFs because sometimes the ETFs, they're weighted with a bunch of different things, right? So I want to find instead the top performing stocks because when I swing trade in my private room with the team, we are looking for individual stocks. um, Boeing looking interesting, breaking out of a wedge, but also could have more fib retracement to occur. How would we think about that, or is the answer simply trade what you see? So let's look at Boeing. Yeah, so there's a lot of fib action. So we actually have been looking at Boeing since back here and here, because it's been really like, look how beautiful this fib is. Look at this right here. Okay, we had this push up and then we came to the 618, we held it twice, and then we just were exactly trading to the 272 target. So very it's been very mechanical in that sense, and it's been a pretty decent. But that being said, right now, like I said, right, we had this first trade to the 618, and then we had the extension traded. Anytime the extension is traded, then you have to be careful. And this is why we actually have the sell-off happening right now, because the algorithms were here. They already loaded up, like we can see here, they loaded up, they popped it up, and they're taking profits right here. And that's why we're pulling back. So the only thing that we can do now is draw the next Fibonacci, right? So from here, the next Fibonacci was here. Okay, look at that, beautiful on the 50. Do you guys see how beautiful it is? Like, it's just crazy. And then now we can take the next one, so we can take it from here. Okay, this is called sequencing from my book. Okay, take the next one right here. Pull this down a little bit. So all you can pretty much do right here, guys, is take your bets, you know, if you want to play it on the 5618 and see how it goes. But you know, it's already hit the fib twice and been working. So it's not every single trade is going to work, right? So that's why I would be very careful. But I can also see a nice short that worked. Wow, look at that. Ooh, so the shorts have been very smart. So this is a very high probability trade because we had the pullback to the 618, we trade to extension, and then look at this. We had the dip, we had that sell off, and then we came right exactly to this to the 618, right exactly to the 618, and we sold off again. So there are some shorts hanging out here. Okay. So just definitely be careful. Whatever you do, manage your risk. That's all you can do at the end of the day. Right. So we have Abby's question. Can you draw the fibs on HD? It finally pulled down today. Sure. So let's take a look at that. All right, Home Depot. Yeah. So I think we talked about this one yesterday. So basically what happened with Home Depot is we had this impulsive leg that comes all the way back to June of last year. We pushed up, we double topped, then we pulled down to the 786. Like look at that. We pulled down to 786 and we absolutely just blew right through. And the only thing that can push Home Depot like this was algorithms. There were some huge algorithm programs just sitting right there. And as soon as they got their order, they just ripped this stock and they squeezed all of the shorts that were trapped here. So absolutely stunning. So what I would do from here, we need to use the sequence strategy, okay? So we need to take the fib from this low to this high, okay? So the 50 is lining up right now with the mid Bollinger Band area. So two areas that I'll be watching. For if Home Depot continues to pull back, this previous high, this double top will likely act as support, and that will line up with the 50 fib somewhere in this zone. But it can also just consolidate and go flat. So if it goes flat and just consolidates, then we can look for a inside bar or a flat top breakout to push to the next level. Perfect. All right, Abby, hope that makes sense. Says Matthew says, thanks, Rich, is how confused I can get when doing my fibs. Yes. It just comes with experience. Keep working at it. Read my book. I know you have a copy, and just keep going. Keep going. It's a skill. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be making money. Okay? So once you get it, it's like you're gonna see it every single place you go. You're gonna see fib. You're gonna be driving your car, you're gonna be seeing fibs on the highway. Trust me. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna be at McDonald's, you're gonna be seeing fibs in the menu. All right. So I had fun today. I read it twice already. We'll keep reading. It's quite a masterpiece. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I really feel that I hit everything that I wanted to talk about, and I made sure that I got all the charts in there, and I'm very happy with it. And to be honest, I probably sold over 100 copies of my book. So I didn't think I would be that successful, but obviously it's making people a lot of money. And I get DMs every single day with people telling me like, "Oh, I did the morning leg today and I killed it." And that's all I'm trying to do. Change one life at a time, help my friends and family, help my community. That's what it's all about. All right. Please, do you guys have any more questions or chart requests on anything? I don't think we have any more chart requests. I didn't really see anything in here. Let me see. No, I don't. There's no more chart requests here. But I want to hang out with you guys a little bit longer if possible. So let's talk about futures then. Let's talk about futures, okay? So from the beginning of the week, guys, I mentioned that this is the last week's range, and what we need to do is draw the Fibonacci of the range. And every time we came to a major Fibonacci point, we had 20 point, 20 point, 30 point, like this one was like a 50-point bounce every time we came to the major 50, 618, 786, 886, right? And what I want to show you guys, even though we had the sell off, okay, even though we had the sell off, we didn't break these major swing lows. We didn't break this low, we didn't break this low. And if I can extend this, what we can see, guys, is look at that. Look at that again. The 786, the 886 are still coming into play. There's still buyers here. They haven't disappeared. There's people willing to buy the dip, right? And then the other thing I want to point out is look at that really nice inside bar right there. That's a little nice scalp. The inside bars are good, guys. The inside bars are good. Not all of them are going to work, but if you play it the right way, you'll be okay. All right. So this is what I call an inside week, right? So if we go to the weekly chart, friends, if we go to the weekly chart, what are we going to see? What are we going to see? We are going to see an inside bar. Look at that. We have an inside bar forming right here on the top of the Bollinger Band on futures. Absolutely stunning time to be alive, is it not? Beautiful. So hopefully we finish as an inside week, and that will set up some major, major moves for the coming week, guys. Anytime we have an inside week, there is going to be some type of explosion, okay? Either to the upside, downside. We don't know what side, but we can place our bets, and if we're right, using our strategies, we can make a lot. Like with those inside week closes, those are the times you want to buy options. Those are the times you want to load up on things because the market has consolidated and you want to be a part of the next leg. So let me show you guys an example, okay? So I'm drinking some ginger tea to try to deal with this cough. I think I'm coughing less, so I'm very, very happy about that. But I have a whole pot of ginger tea with me right now, like a whole pot. So what I wanted to show you guys, let's go back to Twitter. Okay. I want to show you guys something. Let's retweet this. Hopefully we can get some more likes. So this. Okay. So on March 26th, okay, I want to show you guys some strategies and tools that you can use. Okay. So on March 26th, this is how the Qs looked. We had a 2-week inside bar. 2 weeks. Okay. So I told you guys the last time we spoke that I am trying to break the paradigms around me. I'm trying to expand myself. So instead of only looking at the weekly, why not look at the 2-week? Why not? It's 2 weeks of consolidation. That is important. So this is the type of value that I'm trying to bring to you guys. Okay, I'm trying to do some stuff different. I don't want to be the same. I want to be the best. Okay, so here we go. So QQQ. So this is the Nasdaq. Okay, we had a 2-week chart. So I wrote here the 2-week bar is closing as an inside bar, which shows consolidation. So all of you guys here, you guys know that by now. Okay, the break of this range will likely trigger the next leg up or down. So this is the range. So I said if we can get above 325, we're going to be bullish. If we go below 307, we're going to be bearish. Okay, so what happened? This is what happened. So from that 2-week inside bar, we broke through 325 and then we made new all-time highs. Right? We made new all-time highs. So this is the power of having a plan. So if I bought options here, so I don't do options, I do shares, I do futures. But if I bought options here, I would make a shit ton of money, right? Depending on the expiry. Okay? So this is the power of having a plan. And I want to thank the 26 people that like this because I'm trying to get my message out there because you guys know what I do. I do fibs, I do inside bars. I'm not like making things up as I go, right? There's a lot of people that do that. One day they're bullish, they delete their tweets, the next day they're bearish, and they delete their tweets and they're on some other bullshit, right? I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. And this, guys, is just having a plan. Just have a plan. Follow your plan. That's it. You see how I planned that from March 26th. I didn't react. I anticipated. And that's how you make money in trading. All right. So, I wanted to show you guys that. And then I quickly want to talk about this, okay? So these trades all come from inside bars and fibs. These are my swing trades in my private swing room, okay? That I have my private Twitter right here. Trading Wars Private, right there. This is just the same thing that I teach you guys, okay? It's a combination of fibs and swing trades with the inside bars. And look at the results. 55 wins and 28 losers. And it's not rocket science. Okay, it's not. So the difference is I have a plan. So I encourage you guys, you can get good results. Just have a plan, follow your plan, and trade. All right? Ignore everything else out there. Honestly, with Twitter, if I go to my homepage, I'll be tilted. Because someone's saying bull, someone's saying bear. But I don't care. I set up my trades on Friday, like tomorrow after the close. I'm going to set up my trades. I'm going to put in the broker, and I am done. Okay? I'll make adjustments if I need to, but I will never change my plan because of what someone else said. Never. I'd rather take my loss. I've just learned these things through trial and error, right? So Javier says, what happened to your health? Did you get COVID? That's a good question. I don't think it was COVID, but I was really sick, very, very sick for 2 weeks. And I'm just getting out of it. I don't know what it is. I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't really want to know, to be honest. But I don't think it's COVID because my wife's here with me and she didn't get sick. So, I don't know. I'm feeling okay now, but I'm still battling a dry cough. So I really don't know. I'll probably get checked out eventually. But right now, I need to recover my health and just staying home and being inside. And, that's what's helping me get better. So I'm going to do that until I'm fully 100%. Okay. So buying options to break the inside bar. Correct, Abby. Like, Abby, that's a good question. So there's different ways. Like there's different ways to trade an inside bar. Okay, so let's pull up the chart together. I'm gonna give you 2 ways. Okay, so here was the trade again here. So here was the inside bar. Okay, so there's a few ways. So what I like to tell you guys is bracket the inside bar. So if we break the high, go long. If we break the low, go short, because what you're looking for is the momentum, right? The other option, and what some of my traders do, is when the candle closes, you just go in and you pick your direction based on the overall trend, okay? So if you could look at the trend of this, obviously we're bullish. There's no question about it. Forget about what anybody else says. Just look at the damn chart. Higher lows, higher highs. Very simple. So all we have to do when this candle gold closes as an inside bar, we can go long immediately, and then we can put our stop loss actually below the low of the ignition bar. So this is what I call the ignition bar. Okay? So there's two ways to trade it. Nothing is perfect, right? The main thing is if you're wrong, cut your losses, right? Cut your losses, and when you win, let that baby roll. All right. So Javier says, hope you get back soon. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, keep giving it to me, guys. What else? What else we got? These are great questions. Really, really good. Trust me, I know guys that'll charge you $5,000 for this, and you guys know who they are too. But that's not fair. That's not fair to the world to do things like that. All right. So anything, give me anything. Let me think. What can we talk about? Okay, let's talk about some of my. So this was my focus list, okay, that I had for the week. This is something that I'm testing, which is the 3-week chart. So all of these tickers, okay, had 3-week inside bars. Okay. So the one that I executed on was Visa. Okay. So let's go to the 3-week. All right. So there. So here's the 3-week on Visa. So I actually have a few positions on Visa because I've been entering from like a very long time. I've been getting in Visa. So I first got into Visa back here. And yeah, I think back here. Yeah, I got into Visa there, made some money on that pop, and then we pulled back. And then if I go to the 2-week chart, we had this one. I entered here again, and this one on the 2-week chart, I already made money, and I got to my partial targets. And now on the 3-week chart, there's another one. It's crazy, eh? So what I've been doing is just kind of like adding where I can, and just taking profits where I can, and just continuing to play the game. Do you trade TTQ or leverage indexes? This is a very good question. So, do you guys know LEBD, LEBU? Have you guys ever heard about that? And like JNUG, JDST. Have you guys ever heard about that? Let me know if you guys ever heard about that. But basically, when I first started trading, so there's like this really big YouTube channel, like this guy named Ricky Gutierrez. So when I first started trading, I started in ETFs, leveraged, because I thought like, oh, I don't have a lot of money, right? So I have to trade leverage, right? And that was probably one of the biggest mistakes that I ever made, because the leverage ETFs were giving me slippage and they were decaying in nature. So what it meant is if you held a leverage ETF, it was set to actually go down for some reason. Like it was only meant for day trading purposes, basically. Okay. And when I had a stop loss in the leverage ETF, when it hit the stop, it wouldn't get filled. Or it would fill me like way lower. I would lose so much money. So that was kind of my experience with leverage ETFs. And then I realized my mentor at the time, I told him what I was doing. And he said, all right, you got to stop this bullshit and you need to trade futures, because futures, there's no slippage. It's the most liquid instrument in the world. So that's when I started trading ES. I never really trade, I didn't really trade NQ much. I like ES more, but there's times where I have been in that market. Okay. So the futures contracts was the game changer for me. So if you are trading leverage index and you're having issues, look into trading futures. Okay. And futures, there's no PDT rule. All right. So you already have that part of the problem solved. NASCAR all out. What is your IPO strategy? Good question. So we talked about this. I think we talked about IPO last time. But basically what I'm looking for is I'm trying to catch inside bars into momentum or fibs. Okay. If I'm doing a swing on the daily chart, I'm waiting for some consolidation, and then I'm going to take breakouts. Okay. So if you have some examples like you want to talk about, please post them in there. We'll look at them. Asa says he got into Visa at 102. Wow, that's good, man. That is really good. Where the hell is 102? Holy shit. Yep, that is good. Congratulations, brother. Javier says thank you very much for that. No problem. How did you find your mentor? Good question. So my mentor was he's actually my friend. We went to high school together, and he dropped out of university to trade full time. And I always thought like he was just crazy. But he worked his ass off and he killed it. So when I was struggling in the market, let's be honest. At first in the market, you think you know more than everyone else, right? You guys agree with that? I thought I did. Like when you first start, you feel like these guys in here, I can beat them, right? Tell me if you guys felt the same way. I felt like I didn't need nobody. I didn't need a mentor. I could make money, especially when I first started. I was trading and I was making money. So I just thought it was a joke, really. And then I got hit hard, lost a lot of money, probably 20 grand or so. And I reached out to him, said, hey, this is what I'm doing. And he's like, all right, well, you're going through your rookie stage and you got to stop. You got to stop the bullshit. You got to come to futures. You have to have a plan. You have to have stop loss, target. I said, okay. And I followed him for about a year or so, and then I adapted it to my own style because everybody has to find something that works for them, right? So for me, like my mentor doesn't really look at inside bars and stuff like that, but that's what I like. So I adapted it over time. But the fundamentals of risk management and trading the correct instruments, like ETFs versus futures, etc. That is very, very important. You have to make sure you're trading the right thing, guys, because some things are really just scams. Like one of them is like JNUG, for example. Like I used to trade that. I used to do that. And that thing is like always getting stock split, reverse split, upside down split, banana split. It's just crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's highly, highly manipulated. So there are bullshit like that. So stay away. Micro futures for small accounts? Yep, exactly. If you have a small account, you can just use the micros. Every point is only $5. Honestly, it costs nothing to learn these days because even if you don't want to put in money, just do simulation trading. All right. Next question, Jason. Can you look at skills? At which level Fib should we go long? All right, let's look at this. Skills is an interesting name. All right, very interesting. So I think we drew this fib the other. Oh, we talked about the crazy short last time, right? Like that was our topic last time. That was beautiful. Let's take the fib from the low to the high. Okay, so here it is. The bulls are making their stand on the 886. They're holding the 886. So the play here is let this close tomorrow, then literally bracket this bar. If it breaks above here, go long. So like 1850 long. If it breaks below here, go short. That's what I would do. I'm not telling you what to do, but that's how I would play the fib and take a shot. But that being said, this stock is highly manipulated. Anytime a stock has a run up, let's see what the run up is. 333%, and then it gives it almost all back. That is, so it gave 75% of that back. Anytime that happens, those type of stocks, I prefer to day trade and not really hold for long term because I can't control them, right? Like I rather put my money in something like Microsoft or Amazon, like, and be safe, right? So be careful with these names. These names are very dangerous. But if you're looking from a Fibonacci perspective, that's how you would take it. Wait for the candle to close, look for the confirmation, take a trade. You have a good shot, but if it doesn't work, honor your stop loss and move on. Okay. So Matthew says, my confidence is so bad I haven't been able to shake my paper hands problem. I see green, I take it. I have a few clients, a few friends that have that problem. And you know, what you have to do, Matthew, is you have to understand that trading is a mathematical game. It's not about the setup, it's not about the fib, it's not about the inside bar. It's about math. It's simple math. Let us respect math for a second. If you can get a 2-to-1 risk to reward, you only need to win 34 out of 100 trades. So that's what you should be aiming in for your head. Man, let me try to get to 2-to-1, because if I don't get to 2-to-1, or if I don't at least get to 1.5-to-1, then I'm just wasting my time, because I'm shooting myself in the leg. I'm not letting the math work out. Let the math do its thing. Math is already there. It's already invented in the universe. You don't got to worry about that. So let it do its thing. You need to come to terms with, if I don't get good risk to reward, then I'm wasting my time, right? Asif says, my mentor is my brother. I watch him doing, but I never ask questions. I just watch him. Yeah, that's good. Sometimes, sometimes just watching is good. I've watched a lot of people trade too, to learn. And, sometimes that's good enough. Okay. Do you have a fib trick to feel comfortable whether a stock will gap up, continue a day or two of momentum? So good question. So where I am right now in my career, with trading, is I have no emotions anymore. So my mentor once told me this. He doesn't have any emotions, and I used to be like, "You're crazy," because I used to wake up in the middle of the night looking at futures at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I just like randomly just open my eyes and check where futures is, because I was so emotional, so attached to the market. Right now, where I am in my career, I don't care. I take the setup based on my rules, and it either works or it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, I lose a little bit of money. If it works, I make a lot of money. So right now, I don't care anymore. I'm emotionless with trading. I follow a systematic mathematical way of trading, and that's it. So I don't feel uncomfortable or comfortable anymore. I just take the setups as they come to me. Thanks, Richard Cod. mRNA today got 2-to-1, but I sold before the majority of the move. Just keep working on it. Keep working on it. The mental part of the game will fill itself in over time. Jeffrey, welcome. Hi, Rich. Your thoughts on NIO, please. Okay, good question. Let's see what we got. So I think we talked about this one last time. Or was it last time or time before? I'm not sure, but let's work on a fib here. Let's work on a fib. Let's see. So okay, first thing. So we can draw this level. Okay, from there. Okay, so from here all the way up to there. So this zone is an important one, first of all, because you could see that this candle had gap up. This is what we call a gap and go. Okay, so this was a gap up. So anytime there's a gap, that's going to be an important level. And what is the saying in the market about gaps? Well, the saying is we will eventually fill the gap. And you can see here that's exactly what happened. It came all the way back down for this gap. Okay. So we could see here that this is a major level of support, and it's holding. It's holding, right? So now let's add a fib. Let's take it from this anchor, pull it up. So we do have some fibs around the zone, okay? So we have fibs, we have support, we have a lot of trapped inventory. We can see like shorts tried, shorts tried, short tried. They're trying. The shorts are definitely trying. But this candle is very interesting, because this candle is turning around and starting to break. And I feel like if we can get up here, 4150s, if we can start squeezing, we can just flush through these stop losses here. So definitely looking for that confirmation, that break up here to push through these stop losses, right? And I'm pretty sure what's going to happen here is we will find some resistance when we get back around here at the 50 and at the 618. So don't be surprised if we pop up and then we sell off. I think that's likely to happen, because this move down was convincing. It was a powerful short down. So when we come back up here in the fib zones, in the golden ratio area, there will be another attempt. There will be. Okay, most likely. All right, this is a nice question here. So UTME and EBET were both priced at around 5, but UTM opened at 11 while EBIT around opened at 21. Do you use the fibs at IPO price or the opening price? So let's look at it. Let's look at it. Okay. Oh my God, what is this? This is not it, right? Is this it? Charts look messed up here. Let's try the other one. All right, this one looks a little bit more manageable. I don't know why does the chart look like this. I think it's because the volume is just not there. But okay, so let's see. Where's today? It's here, 9:30. Okay, let's go back down here. I don't know if it's my chart that's showing it like this, but it's really hard to look at this properly because of all this chop. But what I do see, okay, is I do see some inside bars here. That's what I was saying. IPOs, I like to look for inside bars because there's a consolidation period with the inside bar. And if we can look here, right? We look here, we had a nice inside bar, a nice inside bar, nice inside bar that took us down, and we could clearly see that there was a lot of selling, right? So that's kind of what I like to look at. I don't really see anything going on with the fibs here, but basically what I would do is look at the morning leg and the afternoon leg. So those two things. That's what I would do. And also, if there's gappers, I'll use my fibs on the gaps. One of these days, you should do a live session at 9:30. Well, I used to do all my stuff live on Telegram. Used to do it all on Telegram here, and I used to do all the call outs and everything. I will do eventually, but guys, honestly, I'm a really busy guy. I have a lot of other businesses. Trading is one avenue for me to help the world and to fulfill my purpose. But I have many other things going on. So eventually, when the time is right, like when things calm down for me, I will be able to do that and help you guys. But for me right now, I really like the swing trades more. It's more mechanical, it's less emotional, it's very easy to set and forget. And where I'm going in the next phase of my life, I'm going to be doing a lot of different things, and I prefer to just have everything mechanical. Set the orders and disappear. ES has many gaps. Is it going to be filled? It depends. If we start selling off, then there will be good areas to look for fills. But ES is a very, very bullish instrument, so it does not need to be filled. Asif says, I'm looking to short Spotify. What's going on with Spotify? Let's see. um, if I was gonna short Spotify, I would have already been in it. Right there around this 382, I would have probably been over here. It's kind of hard to short now because there is support here, here, and here. But I'm not saying it's not gonna work, but just saying like I'll be a little bit cautious. It's always nice to catch a short with the fib before the move happens. So you're basically when you get it with a fib, you're pretty much gonna have a risk-free trade because you can put your stop loss to break even, and then you're in a good spot. All right. Unfortunately, we can't break 30. I don't know why. 30 is just too hard for us to break. But I think on Sunday Stock Talk we can break it. I think we can. We'll have the army out with us on Sunday, our Trading Wars army. Hopefully we can break 30. But yeah, there we go. So 55 minutes in. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun as usual. So the next time I'll be seeing you is on Sunday Stock Talk. And we went through how to trade the news. And so if you missed that part, I'm going to post a recording so you guys can check it out. But otherwise than that, we went through some charts. We looked at different things. And Jason has one more question. Let's see. When you day trade with fib, use 5 or 15? Both. Both of them work. Both of them work. The fib doesn't really depend on the time frame. The fib depends on the impulsive leg. Right? The fib depends on impulsive leg. Yeah, Asif says getting to 30 is like Disney. I agree. Totally. All right. That's it. Thank you very much for your time as always. I very much appreciate you being here. And I will see you on Sunday Stock Talk. And like always, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I always respond to my DMs. Thank you very much, friends. Take care. Have a good night.